Hi, it is day 13 of Lofty May Vlogs. My name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. Today it is a gorgeous day in the Vancouver area, and if you look over my shoulders, the sea cadets are out on the water practicing. So I'm going to turn the camera around and share that with you for a moment. There are several cadets in the boats and they are learning to row. They're just in front of the boathouse, and Nathaniel is actually there for the weekend. He is one of the sea cadets, and I'm not sure if he's in that boat or if he'll be going out a little bit later in the boat, but we'll be watching them up and down the river today. And they're all being told stroke, stroke, stroke. So not rowing a traditional rowboat, but definitely learning some important skills. I am going to have my lovely cup of tea, share a little bit about what I can of the knitting that I got up to yesterday, and then we're going to go up to the loft today. It's a warm day, so we're not going to stay up there too long, and we're going to try and see what some of that yarn looks like in the china cabinet today. It may work, it may not, and I'll determine whether that is the storage option I want to go with. I'm hoping that it works. It actually looks like they've got a few different boats on the river. The cadets, they've got several in the back boat, and then there's a middle boat, and then the group on the side that are practicing rowing. So they are getting out on the water this weekend, which is great because it just gives them that little bit of experience. And they are all in bright yellow life jackets, just in case anyone falls overboard. Crossing fingers that does not happen, because the Fraser River is cold. The wildlife that we are going to see on the river today is not the birds, although there are 2 Canada geese adults right there, and I did see them swimming down the river, and they had 2 goslings with them. I can just see one of the goslings in front of the higher up Canada goose, and he's wiggling away. But what we're going to look at today, the wildlife, is across the river in the boats. We're not sure if Nathaniel's in that group or if he's up on the land doing activities and he'll go out later, but it is nice that they are getting outside, and what a beautiful weekend for being out on the water. It is a really lovely day. The sun's rays are harsh, but that's okay. I will take it. We have both doors open with the screens shut so that the bugs don't get in, because it is so beautiful outside. Just going to quickly share my knitting with you and have a cup of tea, and then we will go upstairs and do a little bit of sorting in the loft, because it's a beautiful day, and after the sorting I want to get out and enjoy that sunshine. Today, for tea time, it's another Rendale Designs mug. We are back to tea, Marks & Spencer Extra Strong. This one is called Walkies. My tea is super, super hot. And I think today it is a Saturday. Let us cheer to beautiful Saturdays filled with lots of joy. Cheers to that. Last night I did a little bit of crafting on the mystery project. This is living in my bird leg bags, flora and fauna bag, and inside there are squirrels, and I think there's foxes too. Yes, there are foxes and squirrels in there, and there's a lovely green pull just there. I'm battling with the sunshine. For this project, I am using a rainbow of colors. One of my major colors is this colorway Afterglow by Nora George Yarns, and it is filled with all of those beautiful, glorious rainbow colors. So I am getting low on this one, and this project is being held double with mohair. So this is Hedgerow Yarns and an undyed mohair silk, naked. I'm going to put that back with the project, which is just on the knitting table. And I have used red, orange, yellow, green. I have used teal, and I'm throwing the yarn around. I will soon be winding this gorgeous blue. This is called Dark Orion. After I finish with the blue, I will wind this gorgeous purple. This is Dark Pleiades. And the final one will be Dark Cassiopeia. This gorgeous, gorgeous hot pink. So these three still need to be put into this mystery project. The sunshine is creating havoc with these colors, but it's a mystery project. I can't share much else about it anyway. Anyway, that is what I worked a little bit on last night, and I want to work a little bit more on this today. In exciting news, today I received an email which has the second pattern for the Sock Society, and I am starting to think about yarns. And I think tomorrow, hopefully, we will sit down and we will choose yarns so that I can cast on the second pattern for the Season 5 Handmade Sock Society, but we'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, a little bit of work got done yesterday. I'm going to do some sock dreaming today, and then, as I mentioned, we'll do some yarn picking tomorrow. I'm going to finish my tea, then we're going to head up to the loft and see how well the yarn fits in the china cabinet. And again, I'm crossing fingers that it looks good. Here we are up at the cabinet. On the top shelf, I think I'm going to keep a space for valuables. I would really like to keep my ring pillow here, so then that way I can see it, brings joy, and then a few of the other valuable pieces I'm going to put up there as well. And then I have 3 shelves that can take some of the yarn, and hopefully that helps to reduce some of the plastic bins. And I'm not sure what I will do with the bins, but at least some of that yarn will go. I'm thinking I'm going to start off with this bin here. This one has my 2 loop kits for my Dreaming of Butterflies wraps, and I think it might be nice to have some sweater quantities and some kits in this space so I can easily see them, easily access them, and maybe that will get me to knitting them faster. Okay, let's get to this. It is a warm day, and today is just going to be a very quick stack and look, see how we like it, and then we're going to go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. The first items that I want to put in here are my beautiful Dreaming of Butterfly kits, and I do have the marmalade one. And I also have the Rose Madder one. They both came with a lovely little loop bag. I'm going to leave them in the plastic because even though they may not get dust on them, little moths, they find their ways places that just give me the shivers. Look at that, 1 empty bin. And now we will add some more yarn in. In 2016, Greg, Nathaniel, and I went to London, and these are some of the precious skeins that I purchased while I was there. These are from Kismet Yarns. They are camel. They are so soft, and I have quite a bit of the Kismet yarn. So I think I'll put these, this will be my loop shelf, I think. And then I have some wool Misa as well. So I've got some DK, some lace, and some soft yarn. And these are just, before I put my, aren't they just so fun? There's definitely a lot of yellow, which I don't always love the yellow, but that pink and green makes up for it. And then I have this really fun one. I think I'm going to need to do a little bit more consolidation, but look at that. We are now 2 bins empty. I have one more bin, and I think I'm going to put this one on the loop shelf as well. This is my beautiful silk stash, and this is dye for yarn, and I have quite a bit of this beautiful Tussa silk lace. It makes beautiful shawls, especially if you are beading them. 3 bins. Ha 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 ha. Ah, that feels good. Okay, now I think we will look at putting some of the medium size bins into some of the lower shelves. I think I would like to put my Wool Barn and Hedgerow yarns in here. Some Hedgerow and some Wool Barn are going to go on that 3rd shelf. This is my absolute favorite skein of the Wool Barn yarn. It is called Knitting Angel, and it was a kind gift that I received for test knitting. So I love this, and it's just, oh, it's perfection. Look at that amazing mini that goes with it. Definitely needs to be kept in a safe place. And then I also have these fun minis, and even these brights. This was a Wool Barn mini kit that I bought several years ago, and then I've got a couple of more demure, typical Wool Barn colors here. For those of you who receive the Curious Handmade newsletter, you will know that the second pattern for the Handmade Sock Society Season 5, she has knit her sample in the Wool Barn. So who knows, maybe I will choose one of my lovely Wool Barn yarns as well. And I'm thinking I might go, if I do, with a blue. We shall see. At least now they'll be a little bit easier to access than having to rummage through the bins. I'll know exactly what shelf they're on, and I just have to be able to open the door, rummage through, and find what I'm looking for. I now have some beautiful Hedgerow yarns, and if you look at this one here, it might look a little bit familiar. This is Glacier, and I'm using 2 skeins of this for my wonderful Shui wrap, or Shui shrug, and I have 2 more here, so I'll make something else special another time. And then this was the edging color I was originally thinking I was going to use. I'm going to save that for another day. I have some gorgeous alpaca blend yarn that Jane of Hedgerow has dyed up, and oh, so pretty. And I have a skein of Fairy Lights, which was used for the vintage Fairy Lights test knit. So this one is definitely vintage stash for me. This one is going to be fun to use. I also have some lovely Hedgerow Yarns sock blanks. When I was in London, I bought this gorgeous Artisan Yarns linen, and oh, these colors. So this is going to go on the shelf with my loop things. These are some gorgeous skeins from Amy, who once was Little Tailoress, and she is Little Tailoress Studio on Instagram, but her yarn was once Little Tailoress. Now it is Dandelion and dogwood. So I have these pretties, and they will go on the bottom shelf with some of the hedgerow. Louie and Lola will be joining the bottom shelf. I've got a few more in some of these boxes, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of rooting around and popping beautiful Karina's yarns into this cabinet. I also have some very special Cauldron of Colors yarns, and they too will be going in the cabinet. I found this witchy little stitch marker at the bottom of one of my bins, so a little treasure that I will have to put with my knitting things. So for today's task, we emptied one large bin, one medium bin, and 3 of these smaller bins. And all of the yarn that had been in here is now in the cabinet. And let's take a look and see if we can shut the door. Here are the 3 shelves of yarns. I still have to reorganize this space up there. It's really nice that the Dreaming of Butterfly kits is now out of the sunshine and in the cabinet, along with a lot of these other yarns. But beautiful, bright colors and very, very special yarns are in here. So let us get to the big test. Does the door close? For the most part, yes. Did we get these other bins emptied? That's a no. But you know what? That cabinet there is progress, and that is, I think, a job well done. Did I hope I would be able to fit all of my yarn in there? Of course I did. Was that a realistic goal? We all know it was not. But it is nice to have some of the yarn in that cabinet. I will also be bringing up a bench, and there's a bit of space underneath for some other bins that I can put yarn in. And the blue dresser that we re-cleared off yesterday, there are 3 bins underneath that I can probably rearrange and fit yarn a little bit better than it is now. I still need to deal with those, but you know what? That is for another day. For today, I'm pleased with what we've done, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we will get up to another task. Have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I look forward to visiting with you tomorrow when we continue our Lofty May cleanup. Bye. The cadets are going back out on the river again for, I guess, afternoon drills. There's a helicopter that has been hovering. All I can say is it is a busy and noisy day on the river today. They are loading the cadets up yet again for another tour in the boats. They have 3 different boats, and I guess maybe they've got them on a rotation, but all the kids over in cadets, I think, are having a pretty glorious day. In the background, you can see the mountains. There's still a tiny bit of snow on them, but with this weather that we're having, that will soon melt. I think the only reason this door isn't shutting properly, it's not because there's too much inside, it's just because it's a little bit stiff. It shuts perfectly, and look at that. Glorious, glorious yarn and other lovely treasures.